Apologizing to women is like apologizing to cancel culture. A lesson from Vladtv and Deshaun Watson. Now we're gonna keep this one brief on today, but just kind of going into things. If you are unfamiliar with Vladtv, which I'm not sure how you would be, because in the black culture he damn near the mouthpiece, a Jewish man. He's the mouthpiece for the black culture. As far as the interviews, he's the one who giving young rappers and young individuals all this clout. Even older individuals. He really the premier interview outlet for people to get their voices out. If you ain't had no Vladtv interview, typically I would go as far as to say the media wouldn't consider you to be popping, or the black culture wouldn't anyway. That's kind of like a rites of passage for you. Once you hit Vlad, boy, you on and you popping. But there was a situation not too long ago, and if you are familiar, if you've been watching Vlad for a little minute, you would know that some of his main partners or some of his mainstays were Lord Jamar and Godfrey. Now, I won't lie. Prior to Vladtv, I didn't know Godfrey was as talented as he was. I didn't know he had the ability to do all these voices and reenactments of people and this, that, and the third. I really didn't even know. I was familiar with his face, but I couldn't recall where I had seen him from. And then I was watching like Zoolander one day. I'm like, dang, this Godfrey was in there. Like, Vlad helped me put the face to a lot of the work that he had been doing. And even Lord Jamar, like, I still forget the group that he was a part of. I think it was, I don't want to say Brand Nubian or something like that. Anyways, I later on found out that he's almost, I don't want to say a pioneer of hip hop, but he was around in those days. So I could see he was somebody. I would have never known who he was outside of Vladtv. Now there was a instance where he, and it's up for debate, but because I like to be fair to both sides. But Godfrey said that he knowingly lied on the minister Farrakhan, and Lord Jamar, it's kind of like he kind of misquoted him when the minister was saying as far as hitting Jewish people with the rock of truth. Vlad just kind of took that as just hitting people upside the head with a rock, and kind of took it literally, and just basically misrepresented what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan was trying to say. But so a lot of people kind of took offense to that, and basically they demanded an apology from Vlad. And of course, if you've been keeping up with everything, then Vlad basically said, "Man, fuck that." He edited the part out as to what he said, but he didn't retract, or he didn't pivot backwards, or he didn't apologize to anybody, And when Lord Jamar came out and later spoke on it, he said the reason why Vlad did that is because he basically said the people that he would be apologizing to wouldn't accept it anyway, and they would basically just use that against him to keep on going higher and higher, as far as keep on moving the goalposts back, as to want him to bend the knee more and more and more. And from my stance, I believe Vlad actually did a wise thing there, because here you are, you have so many people calling you a culture vulture already that's really hating on you, that's trying to get you on up out of there. And Vlad knew better than that. He set Lord Jamar and Godfrey down. He got them on out the way. Y'all go do y'all thing, because he understood the dynamics of their relationship, and he said, y'all go do y'all thing. And he basically swapped them out for Lil Boosie, which was a wonderful idea. Vlad, he's smarter than these boys, man. You got to give him credit for that, because everybody in the black community love Boosie, typically across the board. And so with him empowering Boosie, it's almost like he can do no wrong. And now Vlad just full-fledged out there with it. He's sitting down with Boosie. He talking like he a black person now. Yeah, young kids, I just don't understand how they could do that. Even when I was young, I wasn't doing stupid stuff like that. I be wanting Boosie to tell Vlad, like, Vlad, you a white man. Stop playing. You not thinking nothing like a young black man is thinking. Like, what are you talking about? I be wanting him to say that so bad, but Boosie understand the dynamics. He understand that this is a win-win relationship, almost symbiotic. So shoot, I'm finna, I ain't finna try Vlad like that on here, because he seen what happened to Lord Jamar and Godfrey. Now on the flip side of that, you take Deshaun Watson, who basically was standing on his 10. And if you're familiar with the allegations as to what he went through, because, honestly, I really don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, it's men who doing way freakier stuff than Deshaun Watson, but they business just not being exposed. What's going on behind closed doors just ain't being exposed. Everybody not an NFL quarterback, so happy ending has been going on in massage parlors for the longest. So the fact that, these women coming over there, they talking about they ain't know what to expect, and, bro, with their butt ass naked, and they still continuing with the massage and whatnot. And, half of them was with the business and the other ones was not. It's just bogus. And so he stood on his 10, for the longest. But then recently, he been trying to get back because he already done missed 1 year, and he was trying to get that suspension cut down, so he felt it in his best interest to go ahead and apologize to the people whom he had offended or hurt. He basically apologized, and they still tearing him up in the media. Well, it's not a genuine apology. He's just saying whatever. And basically, what's happening to Deshaun Watson is exactly what Vlad was talking about or referring to. And so, as far as with that, I kind of hate that he did, backtrack on that and apologize. But at the same time, I understand, why he did what he did, and hopefully it doesn't backfire against him, and they can, he can go ahead and continue doing what he was doing and get back to being an NFL quarterback, man, and do his thing for the Browns. But I say all that to say, as far as to the young man out there, apologizing to women is much the same way. There's an old R. Kelly song, it's when a woman's fed up, there's nothing that you can do about it. You dig? And that's really so true. Once this woman loses respect for you, I have a message concerning this actually that you should definitely go check out. But once this woman loses respect for you, it's really nothing that you could do. You're really on borrowed time. Once she begins to disrespect you and she don't look at you in the proper light that you are supposed to be looked at as the man in her life, some disrespect is coming your way very, very soon. Even if you, just like Kel said, if you ever get her back, it won't never be the same. If she does continue to stay with you, it won't never be the same. She probably gonna, I've seen some marriages hold it together because, some people would go as far as to say that love is extremely ugly, and, oftentimes it's working beyond these type of things that really get you to the next level and really, shows what that love is made of, but oftentimes, especially in today's culture, that luster, most people feel like the love is gone once the infatuation stage leaves, once that feeling is gone, once y'all not really, desperately in love with each other and love having sex with each other, they feel like it's a wrap, but I would go as far as to say, there's really no gain in that, once she loses respect for you, because I'll put it to you this way. Oftentimes with men, and really I'm not much for apologies anyway, because, typically folks know when they do wrong, and typically if that respect is there, certain lines just aren't going to be crossed. But, like the old adage says, two mountains might not never meet, but two men will. And so men, chemically, they're governed to, or their mind is typically to be governed off of logic and reason. They're to be able to mentally respond to situations and circumstances. So I'm appealing to the logic of a man, appealing to the mind, the mental of a man. This can definitely go a long way. And especially if some business or some money or something like that is on the table, we cannot like each other and still, have a relationship and still work together with a lot of things. But oftentimes with interpersonal relationships, or, as far as one that you'll have between the dynamics of a man and a woman, it typically isn't going to work that way, because a woman is going to be governed based off of how she feels. So you can tell her a million times that you're sorry, that you apologize, baby, please take me back. Man, that don't mean nothing. And typically the more that you apologize, the more that she's going to become emboldened in her behavior and her way of thinking and dogging you out. And, oh no, well, you better do this, you better do that, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Or you wasn't sorry when you was over there doing that. So it's almost like you really can't win as far as with that, So, I mean, as far as to me now, that's not to give a man a pass. And that's, when you're wrong, you wrong. And so you can, baby, I'm wrong in that. It is what it is. You can definitely look to make amends for that, but or in your own personal ways. With that being said, you can definitely look to make amends in your own particular ways, but your best bet is going to be making this woman feel good. That's going to be really your only way back into it. And definitely want to keep this message brief. That's the biggest takeaway from this. If you one of those baby, I'm sorry type brothers, you're really not serving yourself no purpose. Now, if this woman is really down with you, that's not to say that your first mistake, your first 1, 2, 3 mistakes is gonna be, the end all be all. Because a lot of times women have a high capacity to take on pain. As far as from an emotional standpoint, they really have a high tolerance for that. So if she really love you, if she see the benefit and she see some good in you, man, she can withstand a whole lot. But it comes down to that time when you're going to feel, or you're going to be compelled to, go into the, baby, I'm sorry, woo state, and doing all this apologizing and backpedaling and this, that, and the third. And this is only going to increase the level of disrespect. This is only going to increase, or decrease rather, how she actually looks at you. So there's really kind of nothing worse than that, for you to be wrong and then to also sacrifice your masculinity and be down on bended knee like you boys the men or some shit like that. Yeah, you probably gonna get cheated on, you probably gonna get dogged out, something like that. It really ain't kind of no saving grace. So like I said in the other video, as far as when she loses respect for you, man, typically it's best to let that go immediately, especially if you're a young man, because the numbers are on your side. Just kind of let that go and learn from that, because you will have another opportunity, especially if you're a young, attractive man out having it your way, man. You're going to have another opportunity to go ahead and not repeat history that you did with this woman with your next. And so that's what really all I came here to tell you on today. And I know this is a controversial one, man. Women, I definitely want y'all to tap in and tell me what y'all feelings or what y'all thoughts is on this, because some women might disagree. Well, no, if my man is truly tells me he's sorry and then I'll gladly take him back, this, that, and the third, and it'll be exactly how it was. Hey, if that's how you feel, baby, jump in the comments and let me know. These are just my thoughts on the matter. And to the men, let me know what you think or what your experiences have been, as far as if you are the apologizing type, or if you feel differently from me. I'm simply here to spark up debate. But definitely feel free to comment, definitely subscribe, like the material, and share it as well. And of course, until the next time, definitely be blessed.